to criticism.
Run to his good-for-nothing leaders and sell us out!
You know when you sit in a plane and you have turbulence? Shaky. No, it was awesome. You know, I learned a lot during my experience, during my time in Top Actor. It was a little hard because, you know, before that I've had no acting experience. So trying to, you know, get in all these long scripts and trying to memorize everything, it was hard. But as the weeks went on, you know, I got used to it. It was up and down, but I enjoyed it.
It was a very fun experience. I always say, like, it was interesting to meet all these, you know, 11 other amazing people who had different backgrounds and different stories. And, you know, having studied medicine and practicing for a year at the General Hospital, one of the things that I found interesting was constantly meeting people and listening to stories. I feel like as an actor, it gives you an archive to draw from, same as being a writer. And I loved it. I had never been to South Africa, so I was also very excited to be there. And
awesome.
yeah, and it was hard. The challenge itself every week was absolutely difficult. But I mean, what is
life is difficult.
Exactly. What is doing anything extraordinary if it's not difficult?
Exactly.
You need to relish that stuff. So yeah. I think that like the biggest misconception with Top Actor Africa is that like it was for up and coming actors. Well, I'm still up and coming. Most of us are. But I think that the biggest misconception was that it was for aspiring actors. But it was a mix. It was a good mix. We had like Shamila, who had been on so many other TV shows as well and movies in South Africa, and then there was me. And we had Pharrell, who had theatrical training. We had Uriel, who had no acting experience. We had Alex, who had some soap opera experience.
Yeah.
So it was a mix.
It
wasn't just people who hadn't had any experience. It was, you know, because they wanted us. The thing about acting is you're learning from other people, and so they wanted us to learn from the newbies and strip ourselves of everything that we already knew, and like, you know, so that's what it was.
I think growing up, in high school, I did a bit of drama, and I think I didn't have the confidence then to say, okay, I wanted to get into acting fully. So I've always admired actors from afar, and when the opportunity came up, I was like, dude, I'm going to audition. I'm going to do it. And I just feel like in life, you have to try. You can't just say, I'm a musician, I sing. You can't just say, I just do this one thing, you know? And I just believe in trying and just whatever comes your way, you know, taking that opportunity and just going with it. And it was just pure luck, really. And yeah. So, you know, like my eyes go really funny. So sometimes when I'm reading, like I have to have this blue overlay, and I have to put it over the white piece of paper, and it helps me concentrate. It helps me read properly. And I didn't have that with me when I was on Top Actor. So for me, it was like, you know, reading the scripts and actually having it sink in. You know, sometimes I would read it over and over and over and over again, and it's not entering. I'm like, God, like what's happening? So I think with me, it was the scripts. And then with Top Actor, you have like 15 pages, and you have like 2 hours to memorize 15 pages. So for me, it was the scripts, definitely, yeah. But now I'm a pro now, you know. Bring it on, you know, give me 50 pages, I'll read it.
I think that like every challenge was like very difficult. I mean, just generally I'm hard on myself, and so like for me, every single challenge was an opportunity for me to be even harder on myself. But I think like it was very surprising. I mean, the music video challenge, which was the first one, you weren't there yet. I won. It's like I don't really like.
How would that happen?
I know, like I'll leave. And here's the thing in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm doing. But then I feel like it was a setup, because here's the thing. Everybody else had like 2 minutes of like screen time. I literally shot the entire day, so it was the most difficult thing. Every week was very challenging. My best week, I would say, would be crime drama, because I
hated.
I loved it, because like I was the only one. It was very hard. I was the only one who on my scene had to move around, and it was very challenging. But I think that my worst week was the commercial week because and this is not to be condescending to anyone, but like, you know, I didn't at that time think of like commercials as acting, and so I was just like, you know, I'm not going to put in 100%. And then they said to me, well, if I normally you put in 100, why are you putting in 99%?
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, I'm tired. So I felt tired. So it wasn't tired. I just felt tired. I feel like with a competition like that, nobody really sees this stuff. But like, we're not resting. We're going back to back
constantly.
to back. And like the hardest thing is like somebody goes home and you're emotional and blah blah blah, but then you have to get back right into it.
Straight. I learned that you can do anything you want to do. Well, I can do anything I wanted to do. And I've always put myself into a box. And I've always said, okay, Uriel, you're a musician, or you're this, or you're that. And I never really wanted to go into acting. And I did. I took that step and I went into it and I got on the show. And I just feel like, you know, try, you know, and I feel like, yeah, you can be anything you want to be. And not only that, during one of the challenges, we learned, it was like a memory.
Yeah, like a memory thing.
Yeah, so I
can't
remember what it is, but okay, we don't have any memory now.
Memory practice.
Yeah, memory practice thing. So we learned all these different techniques on memories and how to memorize this and how to keep it in your head. And I took that away with me. And yeah, so just do what you have to do. You can be anything you want to be, and just, yeah, that's what I learned. Freedom!
I was in the lab with one of my good friends, Ifeanyi, and hey Ifeanyi, and I got like I saw on Facebook an audition notice for Tinsel, and I looked at her and I was like, listen, you know, I've always wanted to do this. I think that I should, and like it was almost like a joke. And then next thing, I packed my backpack. It was really tiny at that time, and I was in school in Benin, and I literally got on the bus. I didn't tell anyone. Came all the way to Lagos, auditioned, and then went back. I didn't hear back from them until after a year, and like I haven't stopped looking back since then. And I think that, like, honestly, if you're sitting there and you're just wondering what to do, you should just you should just do what you need to do. You should just do it. And I can't believe that, like, I'm doing all this stuff that I'm doing now. I'm absolutely just, I feel lucky. I don't take for granted how lucky I feel, because I'm not the only one who has worked hard and who has come all the way from Benin. But like, I feel absolutely lucky, and every time I get the chance to show that I can do something, it's an awesome chance. Like on Top Actor, loved it. And what next? So, sorry, I feel like we're going.
Can I just add something to that?
Yeah, sure.
I feel like you know, as human beings, we live this life, and we're centered around fear. Do you understand? I just want to just say, if you're watching and whatever, just stop being afraid. You know, Ifeanyi was saying you just have to do what you have to do, and just stop being afraid and just get up and do it, because time waits for nobody, and you don't want to live your life regretting. You really don't. I wasn't going to go for the Top Actor audition, but I just said, you know what, let me take this chance. And I did it, and I got on the show. So just don't be afraid. Don't listen to people, bad belly people. Don't listen to them. Do you. I want to go into presenting, and I'm going to push my music career. What else? I mean, I want to do a lot of things. Presenting, my music is number one, so I'm going to push that. You know, I do house music, and I do house music in Igbo, so I'm going to focus on that, and I'm just going to do whatever I have to do. You know, yeah, you know, I'm going to be on TV. You're going to see me everywhere, so look at my face. Keep looking. Good to see you.